It's been more than 25 years since Asian Americans has taken center stage in a Hollywood film that was written by, directed by, and cast entirely with a mix of Asian stars from all over the world, starring both newcomers and movie legends alike. The film Crazy Rich Asians follows Rachel, an American-born Chinese economic professor who travels to Singapore for her boyfriend's best friend's wedding. It quickly becomes apparent that her boyfriend Nick and his family are incredibly wealthy when she learns that he's the heir to one of the biggest fortunes in the world. While this seems like a plot for every romantic comedy, what sets this film apart was that it was made by Hollywood, which has a notable history of racism towards Asians since its inception in 1911. There was the yellow face of the past where white actors played Asian caricatures, and now present day there was whitewashing. In 1944, Eileen McMahon was nominated for an Oscar for a yellow-faced role in Dragon Seed. Later on, in 1982, Linda Hunt would win an Oscar for playing a Chinese man in A Year of Living Dangerously.
Right. Billy Kwan. I did a lot of film work for Potter.
Or in 2012, when Jim Sturgis and Hugo Weaving were reincarnated as Koreans for parts in Cloud Atlas. In the space of 70 years, everything in the world has changed, except white people being cast as Asians. Many films based on stories that are largely around Asian characters have been whitewashed in casting, much to the anger of hundreds of thousands of Asian Americans who rarely ever see a face like theirs on screen. Just look at the casting of Scarlett Johansson in the anime franchise Ghost in the Shell, or Tilda Swinton playing a monk character in Marvel's Doctor Strange, or Emma Stone playing a part Chinese, part Hawaiian in Aloha. It's how all these casting conditions combined dating back to the earliest days of Hollywood have made Asians feel invisible at best, and at worst, the butt of a cruel joke. It's not surprising that directors want to hire big names to attract producers to fund projects. But when they want to do stories about Asians and won't cast any Asian actors, they should know why Asians in the West are angry. Kevin Kwan, who wrote the book to the movie Crazy Rich Asians was based on, said he was approached by a producer who wanted to whitewash his story. He said, "There was an initial interest from a producer who wanted to change Rachel Chu into a white girl. I tell that story to book clubs in suburban middle America and they go crazy. Why does Hollywood think we want to see this movie with white people? A recent UCLA report has found that in both film, television, women and minorities remain notably underrepresented in every arena." The report points out that the United States consists of nearly 40% minorities. Despite this, less than 20% of film leads are people of colour. And Asians are far worse, making up just 3% of all film roles in 2016. The report concluded that films and television shows with casts attuned to America's diversity tend to register the highest global box office figures and viewer ratings, with the industry appearing to embrace the idea that American increasingly diverse audiences demand film and television content populated with characters whose experience resonated with their own, who look like them and with whom they can relate. Crazy Rich Asian lead, Constance Wu, recently tweeted, "I know Crazy Rich Asians won't represent every Asian American. So for those who don't feel seen, hope there is a story you find soon that does represent you. I am rooting for you. We are not all the same, but we all have a story." In the end, Crazy Rich Asians is a win for diversity in Hollywood and for Asian Americans alike.